Hello, welcome to Good Vibrations, a show for seniors, by seniors, featuring seniors. I'm your host, Diana Dagg. Today on our show, we have a spot of music nostalgia, an interview with a passionate volunteer about her role as an ethics teacher, our trivia quiz to kick off the new year, and we finish up with an update on what's on in Sydney in January 2026. So tune in because we're sending you some good vibrations. First up, we bring you another time and another tune. Here's a trivia question for you, which I wasn't able to answer, so see how you go. Which iconic British rock band was first called the Mustangs? While you ponder that, let's welcome our resident music expert, Steve Ferreira.
Hello listeners. Today for our music nostalgia set, we feature the Zombies, an influential band that was formed by keyboard player Rod Argent and singer Colin Blunstone in St Albans in the UK in 1961, when they were just 15 years old. The band didn't actually start off as the Zombies. They were first called the Mustangs, but decided to change their name because there were a few other bands already called that. In the early 1960s, the concept of zombies wasn't as common as it is today. George Romero's Night of the Living Dead wasn't even released until 1968. And the zombie began to take hold in popular culture. However, Rod Argent was aware of The Walking Dead from Haiti and decided no other band was going to have the same name, and besides, he really liked that creepy name. And so it was the Zombies. The group instantly established a feeling of inventiveness, much like their idols the Beatles. New chord sequences, which made the radio or record listener sit up and take notice. Their debut album, released in January 1965, reached 39 in the US Billboard chart, and became popular all over the world, except, bizarrely, the UK, where the band came from. The album was titled Begin Here in the UK and simply The Zombies in the US. It contained a number of standout tracks, two of which you'll hear today. In his retrospective review of the release, critic Lindsay Planer from AllMusic wrote, quote, "The Zombies' obvious appreciation of cleverly crafted melodies and rich vocal harmonies made them favorites of pop fans as well as more discerning listeners." So here's Rod Argent's first ever self-penned song that shot them to popularity, reaching number 1 in the US and Japan, number 2 in Canada and New Zealand, 12 in the UK and 19 in Australia. Here's She's Not There.
Well, no one told me about her, the way she lied. Well, no one told me about her, how many people cried. But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she acted, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool, her eyes were clear and bright, but she's not there. Well, no one told me about her. What could I do? Well, no one told me about her, though they all knew. But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she acted, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool, her eyes were clear and bright, but she's not there. But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she acted, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and
12 years later, She's Not There became a huge hit for Santana from their album Moonflower. The next song you'll hear from the Zombies' debut album is a poignant and heartfelt song that delves into teenage themes of unrequited love, vulnerability, and the internal struggle to express one's feelings. It is performed unaccompanied for the most part by Colin Blunstone, and it's the shortest cut in the album. But it would have been shorter if not for footsteps and jangling coins at the end, making the song a few seconds longer. This song immediately strikes nostalgia in me. It wasn't a single, so only those who knew the record would have known this song, but I hope you enjoy it. Here's The Way I Feel Inside.
Should I try to hide the way I feel inside my heart for you? Would you say that you would try to love me too? In your mind, could you ever be really close to me? I can tell the way you smile. If I feel that I could be certain, then I would say the things I want to say tonight. But till I can see that you'd really care for me, I will dream that someday you'll be really close to me. I can tell the way you smile. If I feel that I could be certain, then I would say the things I want to say tonight. But till I can see that you'd really care for me, I'll keep trying to hide the way I feel inside.
The Zombies continued recording through 1965 to 1967, but unfortunately failed to enjoy further chart success, at least until they changed their record label and recorded the album Odyssey and Oracle. The album didn't chart much at all, but in subsequent years has since become a highly respected recording, gaining plenty of accolades. Disenchanted with their struggles to cut through the hit machine, the band ironically split up before the album was released in 1968. And members went their separate ways for several years, with Rod Argent creating his own rock band called Argent that had a hit with Hold Your Head Up in 1971. You might recall that song. The album's last track, however, became a mega hit, reaching number 1 in the US and several countries, and since covered by a host of artists, notably the Dave Matthews Band and the irrepressible Kurt Elling.
It's the time of the season when love runs high. In this time, give it to me easy, and let me try with pleasured hands to take you in this time to promised lands, to show you everyone. It's the time of the season for love. What's your name? Who's your daddy? He rich. Is he rich like me? Has he take us anytime to show you what you need to live? Tell it to me slowly. Tell you why I really want to know. It's the time of the season for love. What's your name? What's your name? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Here is he rich like me? Has he taken any time to show you what you need to live? Tell it to me slowly, tell you why I really want to know. It's the time of the season for love.
There you go. Now, the Zombies toured on and off for over 6 decades and completed a final tour around the UK in 2024. An amusing anecdote from Argent, when reflecting on their enduring appeal, he said, "When we did Glastonbury a few years ago, we were in one of the smaller arenas. When we started the set, there were just a few people in there, and I thought, oh God, I hope this is not going to be embarrassing. But when we started playing, it filled up, but mostly with young people. And when we did Time of the Season, this huge audience of young people went completely crazy. And I said to Colin afterwards, how did they know it? It's never been a hit here." Well, there you go, listeners.
Thanks, Steve. Next up, have you thought about volunteering? I recently caught up with Janet Swan, who's a volunteer ethics teacher at a local public school. And what I liked about Janet's volunteering role is that it ticks a lot of boxes for us as seniors. There's continuous learning, there's being part of a team, and there's the opportunity to invest in future generations. Janet, thanks for coming in.
Hi Diana, you're welcome.
First question, why choose to teach ethics?
I think for me, it was a way of saying thank you to Australia for allowing me to move over here, and also to give back to the school, to say thank you for my grandchild thoroughly enjoying herself and learning at the school.
And is it right that you teach your grandchild?
I do. That can be very interesting.
So tell me how you got into this. What was the selection process, and was there training? And
first of all, I was at a grandparents' breakfast at the school, chatting to different grandparents. One of them suggested to me, asked me if I was interested in teaching ethics. When I inquired about it in the school office, they gave me a lot of information. I went onto the Primary Ethics website and booked myself in for the training.
Is it set days?
You could either do it online, you could do it actually going to I went to a university in New South Wales and I did an intense course over a weekend, so Saturday and Sunday, completely free, but quite intense. You realise how serious it's taken, definitely.
And then I understand there was a working with children check required.
Working with children check, police check. They all came back lovely. I was so excited. And then I just had to contact the contact at school, who then interviewed me, and we went from there, basically.
Great. I think is it half an hour a week, a class?
The lesson is half an hour a week.
Mm-hmm.
I usually spend about an hour there. I like to get the classroom ready before the students come in. I like to refresh the lesson myself, basically the script that you're given. I read over it a couple of times during the week, and then I do it before the students come into the rooms. I know what it's going to be about.
It sounds like a professional undertaking.
I think yes, it feels definitely, it feels it. And definitely the teachers at the school do appreciate and are there for support, definitely, which is great.
What age are you teaching?
I'm teaching 7-year-olds, so
Okay.
year 2, 7, 8-year-olds.
Can you give us some examples of the subjects that you...
My latest one that I've been doing was about reasoning. The last lesson, which was a group of 3 lessons, was the questions that I was asking was about the pyramids. Did the Egyptians build the pyramids, or maybe the aliens from outer space? I got some really interesting answers.
What were they, for example?
One person shot their hand up and said definitely there weren't any aliens or anything to do with outer space before the pyramids were built. And a couple of other students hotly disagreed with that person, which was brilliant because the conversation went on across the room brilliantly.
And how do you ensure that each person is listened to and respected with their opinions as a teacher?
Well, first of all, I have my classroom discussion rules, which lists only one person speaks at a time. So I just, if somebody interrupts, I just stop them and say, let that person finish speaking. And of course, one of the other rules is no put downs, which sometimes they think is quite funny. And I like to keep asking, what does a put down, miss? Please listen and don't think things are, you're able to laugh at somebody's reasoning or explanation. That's a put down.
What do you get out of it?
I get a lot of pleasure, a lot of fun. I love listening to their reasoning, to their disagreements. Our day is Friday, so Friday morning I look forward to my weekend of fun starting, basically. I get a lot out of them, and seeing their progress from last year to this year has been absolutely brilliant. It's lovely seeing that progress. I've requested either to go through with them or to go back to another year group, but I would like to go through with them. I think that's on the cards again. I'm hoping so.
What do you see are the benefits for those children that you're teaching?
Well, definitely. It's lovely for them to realise that their opinion is quite often different to somebody else's, but it doesn't mean that either one is right or wrong. And that's for them to take forward as they grow into adulthood.
I understand that you don't need to have a teaching background.
No, the training is such that you definitely don't need to have a teaching experience prior, because the training is brilliant. It covers everything you need to follow, and you've got, as they call it, a script to follow. So you follow that script, makes life for the volunteer really easy.
And you're part of a team at this school?
Yes, a great team.
Somebody's listening and thinking, gosh, I'd like to find out a little bit more information about how to become an ethics teacher. How would they do that?
Well, they can get onto primaryethics.com.au, or they can phone 8068 7752.
This ethics teaching career, second career, third career, something you love to do that's not only personally rewarding, but I guess I get a sense of meeting new people. That team approach is always nice for us. And you're learning a whole new area of work. Yes, and watch these kids grow and develop.
That's the wonderful thing. Yeah.
It's gold. Yeah. Thanks, Janet. We'll put the links that Janet mentioned on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/The Good Vibration Show. Check it out. Would some of you just as soon forget some of 2025? Well, don't forget everything, because it's time for It's Trivial with our host, Alan Roberts.
Welcome to It's Trivial. This is your host, Alan Roberts, or Trivial, here to lead us into 2026 with another episode of It's Trivial. Let's look back. 2025, the year that just was. A series of questions to see how much you've retained about what happened in the year that's just gone. Topic 1, politics. Which National Party MP resigned from the National Party and defected to Pauline Hanson's One Nation Party in 2025? Question 2. In the 2025 federal election, Labor won how many seats in the House of Representatives? There's a total of 150 seats. How many of those did Labor win in their decisive victory? And question 3 on politics. Donald Trump was sworn in January as the 47th president of the USA, making him only the second ever president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. Who was the other president who served non-consecutive terms? His terms being in 1884 and 1892. Moving on from politics, next up, sport. Question 1. In the NRL Championships, the National Rugby League Championships in Australia, which team won the minor premiership and which team was crowned premiers by winning the grand final? 2 different teams there. Question 2. Who were the male and female winners of the singles titles at Wimbledon 2025? And question 3. In May of 2025, Tali Gill and Dean Hewitt, 2 Australian sportspeople, won a World Championship bronze medal. This was the first time Australia had ever won a medal at a World Championships in this winter sport. Name the sport. Then we move on to questions about women's achievements in 2025. Women being promoted to positions that they had never held before. Firstly, in May, following the federal election in Australia, who was elected as leader of the Federal Liberal Party? Question 2. In March of 2025, Maud Page was elected as the first ever female director of which New South Wales cultural institution? And question 3. In October of 2025, Sarah Mullally was appointed to which UK religious position? Now on entertainment, which Australian TV presenter and wildlife advocate won the US version of Dancing with the Stars? Question 2. In January of 2025, singer-songwriter Peter Yarrow died. Which band did he achieve fame with in the 1960s and 70s? And question 3. Which Australian-born actor, the son of a former Prime Minister, died in July of 2025? And finally, a couple of general questions that I couldn't fit in elsewhere. Question 1. How many people were killed by sharks in Australian waters during 2025? Question 2. On the 1st of September 2025, the South Australian government banned the use of what food containers? And finally, question 3. April 2025 saw the death of Pope Francis. He was replaced by Cardinal Robert Provost. What papal name and number did Robert Provost take when he became Pope? And also, what country is he the first ever Pope to be elected from? And that's our look back on 2025. Don't forget to go to our Facebook page to recap on the questions and the answers as well. Hope you are having a good start to 2026, and we'll see you again next week. This is Alan Roberts, Trivial, signing off on Good Vibrations Radio.
Check out the answers to Alan's quiz on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/The Good Vibrations Show. Now that the hustle and bustle of Christmas is over, you might be happy to collapse on the sofa and binge watch that new series, something I must confess I did yesterday. But hang on, don't grab that remote just yet, because there's plenty of good things happening in our community. Up next is Craig McMahon with his What's On segment.
Thank you, and I trust you all had a wonderful Christmas and a Happy New Year. There are a few events still happening over the holiday break, so if you haven't already, please grab a pencil to jot down a few events I hope will interest you over the next couple of weeks. Firstly, Speaking Truth Town Hall is taking place between 11am and 3pm on Saturday the 24th of January at Ashfield Town Hall. In the lead up to Australia Day, this is an opportunity to learn how our community can have engaging conversations about First Nations, justice and continue the truth-telling journey. Speaking Truth Town Hall is a free community event at Ashfield Town Hall, facilitating First Nations-led truth-telling for multicultural and multilingual communities. It's free, or you can donate $10, which includes a goodie bag and a donation to the Common Ground. To register, hop on the Inner West Council website. Anyone who's tried getting from the Cooks River to Iron Cove knows the struggle. Disconnected paths, awkward crossings, and no clear way through. Well, guess what? That's all changed. The Greenway is a 6-kilometre environmental walk and cycling corridor linking the Cooks River at Earlwood with the Parramatta River at Iron Cove and the Bay Run. It mostly follows the Inner West Light Rail and Hawthorn Canal, threading through suburbs of Dulwich Hill, Lewisham, Summerhill, Haberfield and Lilyfield. New tunnels and underpasses under roads like Parramatta Road and the Old Canterbury Road means now you can move between the two waterways almost entirely off-road on a sealed shared path that's pram-friendly and bike-friendly the whole way. But a bit like me and not keen on 6-kilometre walks? Try a 30 to 45-minute taster. If you're short on time, start at the busiest section, the Dulwich Hill Sampler. Hop off at the Dulwich Hill Light Rail, walk or ride through Johnson Park along the new path to Lewisham West. Check out the new tunnel under Old Canterbury Road and the public artworks by James Gulliver Hancock in the Mills precinct. Turn around when you hit Summerhill, or if you like, you can loop back via local streets and grab a coffee in the Dulwich Hill Village. It's a quick way to sample the new tunnel and artworks without committing to the full 6 kilometres. Sounds like fun and a great contribution to all Inner West residents. Join us at Glebe Library to see an exhibition of historic photographs from the 1965 Freedom Ride. February 2025 marked the 60th anniversary of a historic protest bus ride around New South Wales, aimed at exposing systemic racism against Aboriginal people. Influenced by the Freedom Rides and the Civil Rights Movement in the United States, 29 students, including Charles Perkins, set off on a bus tour from the University of Sydney on the 12th of February 1965. The group visited 16 regional towns in 15 days, confronting racism experienced by Aboriginal people, including segregation and exclusion. See historic photographs of this defining moment in Australian history. The exhibition also features portraits of people who lived in the towns where the bus visited. Glebe Library is situated at 186 Glebe Point Road, and the exhibition is on to the end of January. Entry is free. Looking to clear that wardrobe or give it a change? Clothes swapping is a clever and thrifty way to refresh your wardrobe, save money and help fight textile waste. On Friday the 16th of January, taking place at St Helens Community Centre in Glebe, you can check in your clothes items between 10am and 10:30am. The items will be checked for suitability and then exchanged for tokens. Each token can be swapped for one item of clothing or accessory during the swap time. Doors will open for the swap at 11:15. If you can't find your size or clothes that you'd like to swap, you can share your tokens with others. While waiting for the swap to begin, visit Glebe Library, enjoy the community gardens or grab a coffee from one of the many cafes across the road. Taking place on Friday the 16th of January, 10am to noon at St Helens Community Centre, 184 Glebe Point Road. Phone the Community Centre on 9265 9179 for more information. That's 9265 9179. Well, that's all for me from this week. Till next time, please stay safe.
Thanks, Craig. I'm so interested in that swap meet. I'm going to see if I can get along and let you know what it was like. Now, that's our show for this week. Thanks for listening. We'd love it if you'd like and follow our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/The Good Vibration Show. Our special thanks go to Steve Ferreira for his exploration of the music of the Zombies, Janet Swan for telling us about her important role as a volunteer ethics teacher, to Alan Roberts, our host of It's Trivial, and to Craig McMahon for What's On. And me, I'm your host, Diana Dagg. A huge thanks to Inner West Council for supporting our show. When it comes to good vibrations, remember to take them in and send them out.